I like how today you will stand, today I will sit. Today you have straight hair, today I have curly. Like we're just taking on each other's opposites.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I mean, I know this influenced me a tiny bit, but every once in a while I just feel like straightening my hair, and I have a haircut this week. So I've been like, annoyed with my hair lately anyway. But Jed recently said something about like, I even like you with your straight hair. Like sometimes I miss your straight hair when we were in conversation recently. I was like, oh, maybe I'll straighten it. And he even like reacted like, oh, I haven't seen this in a while.
Nice.
Like, you're the reason why I started wearing my hair curly, like kind of like he kind of helped me just fully embrace myself and like wear my curly hair and F it. And then I asked who she's told me before that she likes my curly hair better, but she's a kid, so they change a lot. But when I straightened it, I was like, which one do you like better? She said, straight hair, mommy. I was like, seriously? I finally embraced my curl. Now the two closest people are like, oh, I like your straight hair.
Well, Jay likes to change up too. Like he always begs me to go back to bangs when I haven't been doing bangs in a while, and then I've had bangs for so long now, and he's like, go back to no bangs.
Listen, it's not that easy.
No. What?
It's not that easy to just go back and forth between bangs and no bangs.
No.
Wait,
And
I'm losing.
like now that I'm getting older, so like, cause are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're like kind of sputtering.
Oh. Well, I was just saying like now that I'm older. No, not right now. You already had these. Yeah, no, it's nap time. All right. He was watching TV with Arrow, so I thought maybe he would be okay, but nope. This is the first test of doing the podcast with Gray again in New Jersey. All right, it's nap time.
Oh, you are not happy.
No, he isn't. He knows. He knows what this is. Where's your pacifier? Oh, I think it's upstairs. Okay. Come on. Okay. Hold on. I gotta let the dog out. Okay. Okay. Maybe I will nurse him. I wonder if I can set the camera up in a way where he won't be able to see. Let's see. No, this is not the way. Oh, it's locked. Are you frozen?
Am I frozen?
Are you frozen? Hello? Hello? Maybe we need to stop.
Who's starting?
You start.
Okay. Are you ready to record? Like if I count?
Wait, hold on. I think
Careful.
he just finished. Oh, come here. Me? Be careful.
Yeah, there was almost boobage.
Almost boobage. Okay.
It says it's recording, but it's not counting. Other now.
Okay.
Well, I was just like, wait, where's my phone? I need to make sure that it's on silent, but I'm on my phone.
Oh, I should.
One of those Mondays.
Yeah, what the heck, man? It's funny. This morning I woke up and I was like, everything is great. Today is an awesome day. And like even Jen, our Enneagram expert, like she asked, like, what are you coming into this Monday like? Like the first was like, Monday or whatever. And then it was a sliding scale and the highest was like, I can do anything in the world. And I was like, yes, that's me. And then since then I've been like, oh, I'm so dead.
No, I'm good today. I just am out of it, I guess.
Yeah.
Too many good things coming up that my brain's just like zooming to them.
Yeah.
We talked about it on Saturday, I think, when we were recording today, and then I totally forgot. Like I woke up and I was like, oh shoot, we're recording an episode today.
Yeah. Here we are. All right, you come here. You gotta get my back. Yes, you do. Hold on, sorry. Un momento. You sit right here. So I wanted to sit because I'm so tired and out of it. But we'll see how this guy does sleeping while I sit.
Yeah.
We missed the previous video that didn't work. We discussed how today Jessica's standing, today I'm sitting, today Jessica has straight hair, today my hair is curly. We're switching things up today, just today. I don't know where to put this in my sitting spot, but
I'm also currently babysitting grass.
how are you?
If you can hear the
grass?
sprinkler, because I have to move the sprinkler head around the backyard so that the grass will grow.
I see.
I'm doing that all week.
Well, that's exciting.
Isn't it, though? It will be exciting
though.
to have a lush green backyard.
But for right now.
The fire pit's just
not
about finished or is finished. There's one more patch of stuff that needs to get cleared up in the backyard. And then hopefully they're going to come stain the deck this week. And then our backyard is like...
I don't see you anymore.
I'm here.
Do you see me?
I did. Now I see your keyboard.
Well, can you meet Jessica?
I'm right here.
How in the world?
Also, I have a new Monday uniform now that it's hot as balls outside.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
This sweet gray and white striped tank top.
Oh, well, it looks beautiful if I could say it. What in the world, Skype? Give me Jessica back. I can't see you at all. I don't understand.
I don't know what to tell you.
Should we try for a third time to record?
Sure. I figure I'll just use both anyway. Put them in the...
That sounds good.
You want me to call you back?
Yeah, call me back.
Okay.
Bye.
Are you ready? Record.
Yes. Wait, hold on. Put this back in your mouth. Put that in your mouth and suck it.
In your mouth.
The nicest things to say to your children. All right, ready? You tell me when.
Uno, dos, tres, record. Oh.
I'm going to move over here.
I wonder how it will sound when I talk. I think it'll be fine.
What? What?
Said I wonder how it will sound recording. Like, I'm not as close, not super as close as usual, but I think it'll be good.
I mean, yeah, I think it'll be fine.
Usually I'm loud anyway, so.
Well, yeah, I don't know why mine records so quietly. It's so
Well,
quiet.
I'm the one that comes out loud, and you're the one that comes out quiet when our personalities are slightly different.
Quite the opposite, yeah. I agree. Oh, that is so funny.
Okay.
Let's go to bed. Don't pay attention to over here. Okay. 1, 3.
I didn't hear you say 2. I heard 1, 3, and then you clapped.
All right. We'll try again. Don't be confused by the 2 claps on my side. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I just say how excited I am that we're actually going to record in person next week?
Oh my gosh, I am thrilled.
Okay. Welcome back to the In Raw Life podcast. We are so excited that you're here this week, and we can't wait to get into today's episode topic. But before we do that, we want to remind you to rate, review, and subscribe to our podcast wherever you are listening to it, wherever it is reaching your eardrums from, because when you rate it, review, and subscribe, you are telling the podcast platforms and everyone else out there in Earth and potentially beyond that we are the podcast to listen to. So we can grow our community, we can grow our listenership, and we can help more people, which is what we're here to do.
And if you want to follow along with all of our ridiculous antics, including crazy babies and real life, no down. Then you can follow us at inrawlife.co on Instagram.
So before we really delve in, and I know you guys are all just waiting with bated breath what today's topic is about. But before we dive in, Sierra, what is your reality check today?
My reality check that I am feeling so out of it, and I don't know why. I had an amazing weekend. It was really fun. We went hiking on Saturday. We went to a minor league baseball game on Sunday. Like it's all no. There's all the perfect types of things to do on a weekend. And then I woke up with a ton of excitement and energy after having such a good weekend. And then like all of a sudden Monday hit hard. And like I've been noticing that I get a little blue on Mondays. I don't know if it's because like we have so much fun on the weekends with my husband, and then I'm like Mondays I've just been a little sad. I thought it was because like people were coming to visit or something. I don't know. But I really like Tuesdays because Tuesday is when I drop the kids off at my mother-in-law's and I go to a coffee shop and get work done. But like Monday's this weird in between of I'm at home with the kids. My husband's not here anymore. I can't go anywhere because we have the podcast to record. But it's like, I don't know. It's a weird thing. And my brain, I should feel super accomplished because I did a task, which was organizing the kids' toys that has been on my list like a little dauntingly, and I knocked it out today. Not all the toys, but like at least a section of the toys. And I'm so proud of myself. I did it with Arrow. He helped me out. And I should be like, yeah. I went for a run this morning. I mean, like my to-do list is checked off, but my brain is as cloudy as the outside of my house. Maybe that's why, like maybe the weird weather is making me super groggy, but I am groggy.
Enough.
That's it. I'm groggy. That's all I
heard. They're barking, so I couldn't like respond right away because they're just going. I think there might be a delivery here or something. I want to respond. Maxie Soto. Paisley, can you go tell her it's okay?
Paisley's like, I don't care about this stuff. I am chill.
No, she cares only because Maxie cares. But then she's like, why did you have to tell me? I don't care. Yeah, I was thinking, so has this been a couple Mondays in a row or just today?
A couple Mondays in a row.
It probably is like what you were saying, like you have these great weekends and you get all of this energy, and then maybe it's just you're not able to put that energy into what you are wanting to put it into, like you say on Tuesday. But it's great that you have the energy, and maybe you just need to like shift your mindset to, I get to use all this energy for me and my boys now and the podcast. And then that will give you the energy to roll into Tuesday.
Yeah, I definitely, like, I woke up excited. I don't know. I think maybe, like, I just don't know what it was. Because I was excited. I got so much stuff done. But
sometimes it just hits.
Yeah.
And then that's okay, I'm in this right now. And you do your box breathing and your meditations.
Yep.
And then move forward.
That's what I do. Last Monday, this is a really great cure. I went shopping, and that helped. But in all honesty,
that works for me.
I'm like, I went grocery shopping, and I did go home shopping too, because like, we have our new house and I needed things for the house. But I think what it is I just need to, like, I like seeing people every day. And so it's hard when I'm at home all day. And so on Mondays, if I have the reason of getting out of the house to go shopping that day, then I get to see people. So it kind of works out. So once Gray wakes up from his nap, which he's already asleep after all of that nonsense at the very beginning, once he wakes back up, we'll go get some groceries, and that'll be like, then I'll be around people, and I think that'll kind of hopefully snap me out of it. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But what is your reality?
My reality is, like I said earlier, I'm babysitting grass this week because we're trying to grow some green grass where it's not growing so much in the backyard. And luckily, I am shacked up with someone who knows all about this stuff. So, and he likes to do it on the weekends because he really wants it. It matters to him. So that's pretty cool. But I've got a lot of like exciting things going on. So I'm in a very high emotional state in a good way, even though I got my period, which is really cramping my style today, literally. But we've got Jed's birthday is this week, so I'm excited about that. It's Emmeline's last week of school, so I'm excited that summer's starting because I really enjoy summer with her. We got next weekend, which is great because she goes with her dad for the first whole week of summer. But you and I are going to be together for 2 whole days. Next disorder.
Have you heard of a bark collar?
I should try it with her.
My mom does that for her dog, and it works wonders. Whenever I was like working from her house, I'd put the bark collar on and pat down.
Yeah, it's just when I'm working, I need her to not do that. But at the same time, I mean, it alerts me to something sometimes, which is great because they are security. But yeah, I'm really excited for our weekend. One, because we've been talking about it forever, and I know we're going to get so much good stuff done. And I really need like the girlfriend time, which will be great, and some time out of my normal, like taking care of everything here, daily life or whatever. So, and then it'll also lead me into then only 5 more days without Emmeline, beginning of the summer, and yeah, it's good.
I didn't even think about that. It'll distract you from your non-Emmy time.
And then I'll get back and I'll have so much to do that it'll be fine.
Yeah.
So today's episode, I don't even know how to lead into it. Do you have a lead in?
No. I do not. I don't have anything. I even did research. I hope I can bring it.
Well, today's episode, we had written this down pretty early on too in our list of ideas to talk about. And we're finally getting, because it really relates to relationships, which is what we've been focusing on this month. And sorry, something happened on my computer screen that I didn't know what. And so today's topic is all about jealousy. Now, covering jealousy in relationships, significant other relationships, friendship relationships, but also how jealousy shows up in just our being. It can show up in work life, it can show up in home life, just everything really. Do you have, what did you watch today, Sierra, or listen to that kind of sparked ideas?
Well, the interesting thing that I found from my research today was how jealousy is innate in all of us and kind of unavoidable. Like it's a core emotion that almost is like sadness or anger, like it arises in everybody. It's not something that you can overcome. I think we can all become better at it, but it exists. It's not like, I don't know. I think it's easy to feel bad that we're jealous. But I think the better thing, rather than feeling bad about being jealous, I think it's more helpful for your situation and a healthier approach to look at your jealousy and let it inform you on what's going on in your life, in your head, in your thoughts, because if you're desiring, I don't know, some girl on Instagram's life, okay, well, why am I desiring that? Is it because she posts a fantasy land of things because lots of people don't post their real life on Instagram, and I'm jealous of something that's not possible? Or is it that she's really happy in her marriage and my marriage is not in a great place right now? Maybe I should work on my marriage instead of being like so extremely jealous of this person's life, or whatever. I mean, the jealousy could still exist, but just like I like the idea of looking at jealousy and flipping it on its head and saying like, why is this here and what can I do with it to let it serve you rather than destroy you?
Yeah, one of the people that I listened to today was Mel Robbins. I love her. She's the 5-second rule person. I think that's what she calls it. But she was talking a lot more even about jealousy, not necessarily in relationships, but in lifestyle, and how abundance plays a huge part in taking the opposite approach to jealousy or getting out of being jealous and envy. When you're jealous, it's everything that I listen to and it makes so much sense, is that jealousy comes up when you have insecurities, even if you're not aware of those particular insecurities, that this person has bigger or better than me in some sort of way. And that's always going to be true. Someone's always like, you have good and someone's always going to have better than you in certain ways. And you're always going to have better than other people in certain ways. But Mel Robbins talked about realizing that when we realize that what we have is awesome and enough, and that it's always ever flowing to us, you can't be envious and jealous, because it's there for everybody to have. So there's nothing to be envious of. So I really like that approach to it. As I, listening to Jen Sincero so much over the years, I really took on that better abundance approach. Reading the book that we're reading for our mastermind right now is really opening it up even more, of not feeling just so woo-woo about abundance, but how to actualize it. And I really love that. And like even picture it without having to paint the picture, but it's already there, which I really love. So yeah, it's seeing someone on Instagram, whether it's their real life or not, you can look at that and either say, oh, I wish I had that, or even worse, you can complain like, oh, that's not real, or she doesn't have it all together, yada, yada. Or you can just look at it and say, wow, that's awesome for her. And I'm so happy in what I'm doing. Or if that brings up some sort of insecurity in me that I'm not happy in what I'm doing, then I need to figure out how to get happy in what I'm doing. And then it'll be fine.
So that's interesting. That thought made me think of one of the things that I was watching was this woman was describing jealousy as we see it through fiction, because she said there's not a lot of scientific research behind jealousy, but like fiction is like a perfect example of jealousy throughout the years. And yes, it's dramatized, but it covers something that's existed since the dawn of time. And she was talking about Sherlock, and I don't remember the other characters at this point, but she said most people think that Sherlock's number one enemy is this like arch villain who Sherlock's always trying to solve the crimes, and it always comes back to this one guy. But she says, I think that the best antagonist to Sherlock is the head of the police department, who always has to hire Sherlock begrudgingly because he's jealous that Sherlock can always figure it out, right? Like Sherlock is the master of solving these problems. And this guy you can tell that he has this frustration and irritation towards Sherlock because he's so good, right? And in one book or story or whatever, he says something about like, we're not jealous of you, Sherlock, we're proud of you. And it's this like flip of like, this guy, Sherlock drives him crazy because he can never be that good. And it irritates him that his skills won't match up to Sherlock's. But in this one story, he's able to say like, yeah, as frustrating as that is, I'm proud of you because you do solve the problems of our city or whatever. And I really love that. Like, I think we all can do that with anybody that we find like that we're jealous of, because I think that jealousy can, in the initial stages of jealousy, it comes up as, ew, like this girl. Okay, so let's say you see a girl that's really pretty. Your first thought is, ew, her hair's too blonde, or her eyes are too blue, or too. I don't like this about her, because you try to justify a way that she's not pretty in order to make yourself feel better. But if you could notice that, acknowledge it, and instantly be like, wait a second, she's pretty, but I'm also pretty. But that's awesome how pretty she is, because she like should know it, and it's fine for her to be that pretty. There's nothing wrong with me because she's that pretty. Like, good for her, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I like this was 2 or 3 years before I started really doing the work on myself, like my like opening of my eyes. But I realize, and I think this is very much the Enneagram 2 in me, and it still shows up all the time, but not as powerfully because I know how to handle it. But I used to get like jealous, especially when it comes to like love and emotion stuff, seeing people, like I was not in a great marriage, and seeing people who were in this wonderful marriage, whether it really was wonderful or not, but, seeing them love on each other, and especially on Facebook, but even in real life, love on each other, or they get to like hang out with each other so much and they enjoy it or whatever else. Or people, because I was, a military wife and I wasn't following any career path, and watching friends or whoever else that I knew following these awesome career paths. And I was like, oh, like I'll just never have that. That sucks. And I'd be jealous of it. And of course, things would run through my head like, well, I'd make up all these excuses or whatever it was. And then I don't know what it was, but I started deciding I don't like these thoughts in my head. Like this isn't serving me, and they kind of gross me out. So I started, and I realized that the people around me talk so much like that too. So that helped filtrate these thoughts in my head. And I started
the negative ones.
Yeah, the negative ones.
Yeah.
So I started realizing I don't need to shit talk. I don't need to be jealous. I don't need to be comparing. And whenever it came up in my head, I started to shut it down. And when people would say something, I even, which is very out of character for me, especially back then, would say something like, I would just mention it, like, shutting it down again. And I remember this one pair of friends, it was a couple, and they were like, oh, like, you're hoity-toity. Like, they were joking, but kind of for real, like, oh, you're hoity-toity and you're like above that. And I was like, it's just not worth it. And that's when that whole pattern started, without me even purposely being more grateful for things, that I'd started a gratitude practice of just not hating on others. And that opened me up to be able to then work on myself even more, and open me up to everything that I've been opened up to. And as I grow that practice and idea, I am able to be in such a healthy place, even when I still was struggling with things or not in the place in life that I wanted to be. Even when I was going through a, struggling marriage that was breaking down very rapidly, and there were real things to be insecure about in the marriage, but I came out healthy on the other side of it. And it didn't, like, I wasn't broken when it ended because I had done all of that work. So, like, just being able to see those thoughts in your head that pop up so easily, and being able to rewire them yourself, say, hey, that's not serving me. That doesn't feel good. Doesn't make me feel any better. So why am I thinking it? Just, put the kibosh on it. Be so grateful or so happy for the people that you're seeing, whether it's their real life or not. And then the happiness starts showing up in your own life.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ugh, I love that. I also, not that it matters what I think, but I am really proud of you that you came through that. That's such a huge, like, it's just a huge thing to overcome, I think. And I
still struggle with it. I mean, I still have insecurities from what went down because it sucked.
You mean in your marriage?
Yeah, in my marriage, not like in looking at life stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I still struggle with it, but it's something that I'm constantly working on.
Well, and I think that's what it is. It's going to be a constant thing. We're full of emotions, and we're not supposed to be void of those emotions. Like, I don't know what enlightenment is because I'm not Buddha, but I do think that enlightenment comes with consciously being aware of your emotions and letting them like have an ease about themselves in your body, because these emotions aren't like, just because you reach this epiphany of your, like, I am above all of that, doesn't mean that your mind doesn't still shoot these things toward you. And I feel like you have to honestly take that, process it, and then decide what to do with that. Do I want to act on that? Do I want to spit in her tea because she's so got it all together and I can't afford that purse, but she can? Or do I want to be like, good for her that like she found the way to afford that awesome purse? Even if it is that she married a guy for it, you know what? That's her life. Like, it's not my place to judge.
And be happy for her, whether she's actually happy or not, or him, whoever it is. Yeah. One of my favorite books, I just lost the name of it. The Lazy Genius is one of my favorite books I've read and listened to. And towards the end of it, she talks about essentialism. And figuring out what's actually essential in your life, because that's different for everybody. Some people really want all the designer purses, and that really matters to them and is essential to their happiness, and that's okay. But if it's not essential to your happiness, then it's not even worth seeing that she has that purse and caring, you know? I mean, sometimes jealousy or comparison comes up in the way, like we were saying, seeing someone with a purse that you really don't even give a flying anything about, but you think, oh, well, she has to blah, 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 like have that purse and it's so expensive. Who cares? Let her have it. It doesn't.
And I was just gonna say, on the flip side of that, if you're feeling that way because you want that purse and you're pissed that she has it, then do something about it. Make it happen for yourself. You were the only person that has the ability to get that purse in your hands. Not your sugar daddy, not your daddy. You are the one.
I mean, maybe that's your
make that purse. Right. But you have to take control of that and do it. Get it for yourself. Don't steal it. I like, please do it in a way that's legal.
Yeah, if it feels actually like that's something that's very important to you and that's essential to your life and your happiness, figure out what else is in your life that you're spending money on that is not essential, or that you're spending your time on that's not essential, so you can go work more to make the money for that purse, and then you get it yourself. And
then you feel really good because you freaking did it.
Yeah. And then you can, and like, put it out there like, hey, I am proud of myself and I am so happy. And I'm so happy for all the other people who are doing what they want to do with their time and money. When I was struggling after the split, and especially struggling financially and just kind of getting by and wishing and hoping that one day I'll be able to give my family like vacations and adventures that I want to give them, I got essential about what I was spending money on to make sure that then I could get into a place where I could make savings for vacations and adventures and other things that I want for our future. And now I'm in that place where I am building that up because that's important to me. I don't go spend money on clothes because I got what I need and what I like. It's not important to me. What's important to me is putting the money away for those other things, the lifestyle. So,
and it's not even that your like finances have changed drastically.
No.
Like, it's just that you put your mind towards what you wanted and you stuck with it.
And I also, it's the whole abundance and like manifesting thing in reality. It's that's what I want. This is the goal. And seriously, I'm meeting the goals by certain deadlines as far as those things go. And it's blowing my mind and so exciting. And it feels really good.
I know this is not that episode, but I still feel like this applies, is also like having a giving heart, or if you don't have a giving heart, like try to find a way to give. And like giving could be like, giving to St. Jude or, something like that. Giving could also be like sharing your sandwich with a homeless person, or, sharing your sandwich with the person at work because they didn't pack enough, like it doesn't have to be one extreme or the other, or it could just be like leaving a smaller, like a slightly higher, doesn't you have to be kind, you're just doing it. But like, my point is, it doesn't matter how you give, like find a way that feels good to you. And out of the fact that like aligned with abundance, if you feel abundant, you can give abundantly, and then it just keeps coming back around. Like it just does.
That's crazy. It's just one of those things you just have to be open to and allow it to happen.
Another way that you could give is by giving your spouse to somebody else, because no, that is not a way to give. That is the other aspect of jealousy that we haven't covered yet.
I thought you were about to go into like lending their time.
No, I was not.
Yeah, so
I was just segueing to the other part.
Perfect, because I have a quote of a meme that I had saved, years ago when I saw it, because trying to get through my insecurities about being jealous and just like then almost labeling myself, like I allowed myself to get labeled as someone who is jealous when that is not the case. I don't believe, but I'd seen this meme when I was kind of going through it, and it's still something that I think back to. And this, I don't know if this is the exact wording that I just looked up, but it's something like it. But it's, I'm not jealous, I'm territorial. Jealous is when you want something that's not yours. territorial is protecting what's already yours.
That is interesting. So in my research today, I also learned a really interesting thing about jealousy when it comes to relationships. And this is like scientific research that they did among couples all across the world, et cetera, et cetera. And this predominantly shows up in heterosexual couples. So I don't know how it shows up in homosexual couples, but men tend to be jealous. It's like both of them are like a form of evolution. Men tend to be jealous because they want their line. Like it's a natural instinctual thing that happened like forever ago. This is why jealousy of our spouses exists. So men are jealous because they want their line to continue. So like if you go and you sleep with Johnny, your baker, then when you get pregnant, like Jed's not going to know if it's his or Johnny's, you know, like he's hoping it's his, but it could be
not real.
What?
This is all just talk. This is not real.
Yes. There is no baker named Johnny. This is like the one podcast Jed listens to in a long time, and he's like, who's Johnny? I'll go kick his ass. Sorry. Anyway, I could have used myself as an example. Say I go and sleep with Johnny.
It's okay.
But anyway, the whole point is like there's no way of our men actually knowing if we're pregnant with their child or not. Like they can hope so, they can assume so. Like I'm pretty sure Jay assumes. But there could be, yeah, there's just like this, there's a possibility that they couldn't be, which is like it stops your line if you can't reproduce, you know. And then women,
isn't that the whole, like they say that babies look like the dads when they come out to reassure the dad that it's theirs?
Yeah, exactly. Because they could never actually know. And then the women were a little bit different in the fact that so men are more jealous. The example said, like, okay, so say I'm going to use you as an example again. So here you go. Get ready. So say Jed buys you this beautiful necklace for Christmas, right? And then there's Deborah at Jed's work, who is his assistant, and she has been so helpful. She has helped him reach these huge career goals, and like he would not be where he is in his career if not for Deborah. And he buys her a bigger necklace. Is that okay?
It's hard to put myself in that situation because I'm not in it.
Well, if there was I don't know, like just any random girl. I feel like for me, I would be like, absolutely not. Like no girl gets a bigger necklace.
Yeah, I wouldn't be cool with it, but I also wouldn't be cool with that type of
relationship at work.
It's okay. I'm trying to think of words to use here. So the only thing that I can ever put that into perspective with my own personal, like what I've been through, is time, like talking time and emotions. So I am someone who I want quality time, and I want like, you know, that's what I like, and I want the connection. That's huge to me. That's more important. Like my birthday's coming up or already passed. And and I'm racking. I don't know what I want for my birthday. Really, all I ever want is like a family vacation, like or adventure, and things that further our family connection. Like that's all I can think of this year, especially. So, in my marriage, when that communication and connection was being given very freely to others, especially other women, more than to me. So like that, the connection was bigger, the metaphorical necklace. Yeah, no, that wasn't okay at all. Because it's like, hello, I'm the one who put like, that's great that there's someone who are helping you in some other form of life, but I am your life partner who we promised each other to. So yeah, if I'm feeling insecure, and I was feeling insecure in that part of our life because there was good reason to feel insecure about it. So I did not enjoy that happening. And again, I get territorial.
So the reason that I use that example versus like him actually sleeping with another girl is because women like men, if they find out their wife is sleeping with another person, the example he used that as an example for women. And then for men, he said, you find out that your girlfriend got super drunk at a party and slept with another guy, but she doesn't love him and she wants to be with you forever. Is that okay? And it's like, no, it's still not okay, because again, the whole like, what if she got pregnant by him? That's where they go. Where we go is, what if if he's having a connection with this other person, because we are one of the few mammals that the father connects with the babies. So we want, if they're connecting, we want them to connect with our family, not with like another family. So when we see him connecting with another girl, we get jealous, because it's like, hold on a second. Like, we are the connection. We are the ones that, like, if I don't want to risk her taking your love away from my babies, I need your full attention and focus on my children, which I just thought was interesting. Like, there was science to back it, which I can't speak to because I'm not a scientist. It was just an interesting thing that like men and women differed in that way. And they, like, the research really proved that heterosexual men and women really like had these differing reasons for jealousy. I lost you. Are you there? Jessica? Jessica, did I lose you forever? Jessica.
And I just swiped it to the side instead of press decline, and that didn't work. So then I needed to decline.
No problem. I sang to you while I waited.
I heard.
Oh, okay. So anyway, but that's, yeah, so it makes sense. And I'm like, so you say like, you're not really a jealous person. I'm not really a jealous person either, but I've definitely had moments where like women seem to be encroaching upon, like there was this one friend of Jay's that I knew he wouldn't do anything with her, but I didn't like how much she liked him. Like, it was very obvious that she liked him. And then like, come to find out 10 years later, she just ran into one of his other friends, and like, all she could talk about, it was like a distant friend, but all she could do was talk about Jay and how he did her wrong and all this stuff. They never dated. Like, so it's just like, sometimes you get these intuitions where you're like, I don't trust them.
I know that my intuition is correct.
Right.
But then I feel like guys so often, and if they really, really push us into the ground, then I would say your intuition and gut are correct. Because even if nothing's happening, they should understand how you're feeling and be there for you and connect with you and say, okay, let's figure this out. But yeah, my intuition was correct, but I was told that I was just being jealous, or what, I don't even know what words were used, but that was like the basis of it. So then I took that on saying, well, I'm just jealous. Like, even though I didn't think that I was, but it became a belief of mine that was very deep because I didn't want to believe it, but I still did inside.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I agree. Yeah. Territorial is different than jealousy.
Yeah, territorial is completely different. Jealousy is, he's not my man and I'm jealous that you have him. Territorial is, he's my man and I believe that I should have that strong connection with him. And if an insecurity is coming up, I should be able to talk with him about it and talk through it and be like, hey, I'm feeling this way, not like turn into a fight, but this is how I'm feeling. This is why I'm feeling it. Can we figure this out?
And I think what you just said there is key, because I do think there is a side of he's my man. And like, I think there is a level of jealousy even with your own man, which comes when like you're making up these stories. So that was another thing that they talked about, I think in the one that talked about fiction, is that we can perpetuate things when we start to feel jealousy, and we just make it worse and worse and worse if we don't put a stop to it. So like Jay, I know he is faithful to the core, but with that girl, if I had like given myself a thought that like, what if he is like hooking up with her? When would they do it? Oh my gosh. Well, he was late from work 10 years later. And we're back in the same state where she lives. He is seeing her. That is what's happening. Like, I could definitely blow it out of proportion in my own head. And so the thing, but what you said is talk about it and talk through it. Because if I was feeling that way and I said that to him, he wouldn't go, you're insanely jealous. Like, knock it off. He would be like, oh my gosh, okay, let's talk about this because that's definitely not happening. Like, like, I'm working on my car. She's the only girl for me aside from you. Like, he would, we'd talk through it. And maybe I'd still have a hard time.
Car, but I get it.
Yeah, exactly. But we'd have, like, maybe I'd still have doubts, but talking through it can help take away the fiction that we create in our heads if we don't talk it out.
Yeah, something happened recently. And also, when you have that intuition that's telling you something in your gut, it might not be on your significant other's side, but not doesn't mean I trust someone else, but they're not trying something. Like something happened recently where there was a text it was like a drunk text or whatever from somebody in the past. And I said, and I happened to see it. And I said, I brought up a conversation, like it like really hit me hard. I was like, that's not cool. And then I talked it through. I wasn't like shouting. I wasn't blaming. I was just saying, hey, this is how this is making me feel. And I know what that text means. And that's okay if you don't understand or you don't think that's what it means. But that's not okay with me. Like that doesn't make me feel comfortable. And they can either accept that and be on your side and say, okay, like, even though I don't think that this is what it means, I'm there for you. Or they can go the other way and say, no, you're being jealous, blah, blah, blah. And then that's a red flag.
Yeah, that's a red flag.
One of my favorite relationship people is, I don't know if you've heard of him, Sarah, Matthew Hussey. He's the British guy. He's like all over Instagram and Facebook. There's always ads and stuff. He's just like little clips. But when I typed in to YouTube today about like, why are we jealous or something like that, one of his came up, and it was a 3-minute video saying how to get over jealousy in 3 minutes. And kind of what he talked about was he discussed how it can happen and what it can look like in a relationship. But then he also discussed, how it brings up your own insecurities, like we talked about, and how you can handle that in the appropriate adult manner versus just like swooping in and being territorial. But then he also said, you can only make sure that you're being fully happy with who you are. If those insecurities come up, like, oh, she has bigger boobs than me, or oh, her hair is longer or blonde or whatever, you need to figure that out for you and be happy with who you are. And if it's still an issue in the relationship, then maybe this is not the relationship for you. And that's okay. He's like, that's great, because that just gives you the information that you two are not the relationship for each other, and you can both go be happy in a relationship that you will actually be happy in.
Yeah.
So I like him. He's good stuff.
I don't know. I kind of feel like I get that, but I also think that there's ways, like there comes a time where you have to fight for it. Like if you're dating, I totally agree with him. But even I believe that even through infidelity, like you can fight through infidelity, because I've seen people do it. And because I think that not in every case, in some cases, like people are just whatever, like they just give in to whatever they want and they don't care. But I think in other cases, people actually struggle with it. Like I've heard the phrase like generational sins, so like alcoholism, infidelity, like these things kind of, if they exist in your family, there's a high chance that you're going to struggle with those things too. And so to be completely raw, I definitely, like, if another guy gives me attention, I'm married and I love it. And I feel guilty about that constantly. And I know that I can like push it down and move past it and whatever. And I mean, like, I know like women are always like, oh, well, if I ever tell them that, they say, oh, well, like, I love the attention too. Like, and attention always feels good. And I'm like, yeah, attention feels good. But like where I can let my mind go from there is not a healthy place. And I don't like that, but I'm aware of it and I can move past it. And having that as part of me, like infidelity runs in my family. That is like one of the biggest things. Like I don't struggle with the temptation of alcohol, but I struggle with the temptation of attention from other men. And so I think that in some people, it can get even worse. They can give in to the temptation, but it doesn't mean that they're not fully in love with their spouse. And it doesn't mean that they can't come back from that. So I say all of that completely raw and vulnerable and praying that Jay does not randomly listen to this episode. I mean, he knows all these things, but I don't know if he wants me sharing it. But I say all that just to say that like infidelity isn't always a clear sign of the relationship needing to be over. It's a clear sign that the relationship needs to be worked on.
Yes, I agree with that. So this is the perfect time to do it kind of is, the new segment that we wanted to do.
I thought we weren't going to do that. Oh, no.
Do it. Oh, no, you do a whole episode.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
We can possibly turn it into a whole episode, but we'll do it as a segment here. Go for it.
So the segment is where Sierra and Jessica fully disagree on something.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to call it, we should come up with a catchier name.
Yeah.
But so I don't disagree with feelings because they're your feelings. And I don't disagree that there are people who can work through infidelity and can be completely fine with it. I don't believe that I ever can.
You don't believe you could ever overcome infidelity?
Yes.
Like if somebody cheats on you, you'll never be able to forgive them, is what you're saying.
I can forgive them, but I can't continue with them.
Stay with them.
Yeah.
All right.
Because that is so part of who I am. If someone is dishonest with me or loses my trust in that deep of a way, when there's that deep of a connection, or at least not yet, but I don't want to, so I don't think it would ever be able to. It's like so one of my two big values that I discovered that, one of my two core ones is authenticity. And if someone, especially that's that close with me, is not being authentic with me or loses my trust in that way, it never leaves my mind. I can't.
I definitely could see it never leaving your mind, but I do think that if your love was strong enough and you had been like, infidelity doesn't come when your marriage is healthy. Infidelity comes when there's unhealthiness. So like fast forward 15 years from now, let's say that you and Jed are just like, you can't connect for whatever reason, and he cheats on you, but he comes back and he's like, I'm so sorry. I thought I kind of felt like our marriage was over, but we really need to work on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want you, please forgive me. Let's heal our marriage. You wouldn't be able to be like, yeah, okay, let's heal it.
I feel like if it would have to be the person coming to me, coming clean, not me like finding out about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it depends on the situation. I don't know. I'd have to be in it, and it would have to. I know it takes a shit ton of work. I've seen people get through it and are like seem to be thriving. I'm guessing they're thriving because you can only they really know. And I've seen people work on it and not get through it, that really love, had love for each other and had a life and whatever, that just couldn't for whatever reason. But it takes the full work from both sides, and it takes a long time. But I don't know if it would ever leave my mind, like security of it.
And I don't think it ever does. I mean, like, because I know friends too that
and I don't know if I could handle that.
Yeah. Well, like I have one friend in particular that I'm thinking of who, like, I know that she had to give absolutely every ounce of energy to forgive him and move forward. And it was not easy. And she's still like, there's still like, I'm sure there will be a bitterness in her heart towards him forever.
Yeah. And I don't want to live that.
Yeah. I guess everybody's story is different.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I am thinking of Crazy Stupid Love and how she cheated with Kevin Bacon and how it was so everybody knows his name. I don't remember his name now in the movie, but it was just like such a dumb thing. And Steve Carell's like, I've been cuckolded. It's not funny, but like I feel like he's finding it in his heart to forgive her because of like, I don't know. I just think that story really beautifully explores like.
Remember, they don't get back together in the end, do they?
They don't say. They leave it open-ended.
Oh, yeah.
They leave it for you to imagine, which is,
yeah.
But they end on them, like, flirting, so you kind of hope.
I believe that I can forgive the person because I know that's what's the healthy thing to do for them, and really just for me, is to forgive them eventually. Mm-hmm. But I just don't think I could ever forget, and I can't live with that not forgetting
Yeah.
stuff in my face the rest of my life.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, let's pray it never happens so we don't have to find out.
Okay. Yeah, I don't judge or look down on anyone. I honestly admire the people who are able to.
Yeah.
That takes a really friggin' strong person.
Yeah. Yeah. The girl I'm thinking of has a lot of strength, but she overcame a lot throughout her whole life. So I don't know. It's everybody's path is different. So, yeah, let's just hope we never will find out. We'll never find out how infidelity affects my current marriage. My marriage, not current, that sounded terrible. And yours soon to be eventually, hopefully. I really hope our men don't listen to this episode. We need to label it like I'm on my period, and they'll be like, no, skip.
I mean, we got to. Oh, anyway. So if you are feeling jealous of us talking on this podcast right now,
Ooh.
you don't have to be, because you could send us a little 30-second or less sound clip of your voice telling our whole audience what it means to you to be strong. Doesn't have to relate to this episode topic. Just anything what you think it means to be strong, or strength to me means blah, 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 blah. You could even say that if you want. I just can't promise it's going to get used. But you can send that podcast@inrawlife.com, and we just might feature you at the beginning of an episode.
And if you connected with today's episode and you have more that you want to talk about, go and find us on Instagram, because we're happy to talk about it. If you feel like we were wrong in some way, let us know. We want to hear your opinions too. We are open to everyone's opinions, and we love a good, healthy discussion about a topic. So that goes with any topics. I just feel like this one's particularly controversial in ways. So if you have any thoughts, go find us on Instagram at inrawlife.co. Or if you just want some support and love, like if maybe you're dealing with an infidelity situation and you're not sure your way out. I mean, we're not marriage specialists, but we're definitely good friends, and we will happily connect with you on Instagram if you feel like you have no one else to connect with. We've done that with many people before. So we are there at inrawlife.co whenever you need us. And
better yet, you can find us on Facebook. Our Facebook is the Empowered Unstoppable Women. You can join us there, and our whole community of amazing women that are diverse from here to there, who are support each other, have discussions like this with each other, or talk about their passions, or that they don't have passions and are trying to figure their lives out. And we are all there together to help each other out, raise each other up, and raise our glasses to each other.
Mm-hmm. Here.
Do you want to say thank you?
Oh, sure. I was like, I guess you just go to your, well, thanks for joining us on another episode. We love having you guys here. We appreciate how much you come back, and we're so grateful that you join us in these conversations every week.
Until next week, I hope that you rewire your brain whenever any little insecurities come up. If they are big insecurities, you might need to take a deeper look into what's really going on in your heart and your mind. And if someone tries to tell you that you are just being jealous of somebody else when it comes to your significant relationship, say, I am territorial, because that is mine. Bye.
Stop.
Bye.
Oh my gosh, I have to pee so bad.
Oh, in October, I should do a bye-bye. That's my...
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, cruel world. Goodbye.
Speaking of goodbye, can we say goodbye to YouTube so I can go pee?
Okay, I'll say bye. Love you.
Bye.
Don't end the call.
You don't have to hang up. Just bye, YouTube.